Hey, everybody, welcome back to Grain Markets and Other Stuff. Thank you for joining me. It is Wednesday, March 17th. Happy St. Patrick's Day. For those of you listening on the podcast, thank you for tuning in again. Remember to leave me a review if you have not already. I would really appreciate it. I could certainly use some more reviews on the Apple Podcast app in particular. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the like button. It would really help me out in regard to YouTube and the way that it works, their algorithms, their computers help spread these videos out a little bit. That would really help me out. Much appreciated. And remember, if you need some additional help from me, what I do essentially is help farmers with their grain marketing. Go to my website. It is www.standardgrain.com. Go to that website, click on Grain Marketing Plan in the upper right-hand corner. For $49 a month, I offer a subscription service. It includes a email, which goes out every business day at 6:30 a.m. Central Time. It includes a text message service, any sort of consulting that you might need. This is a monthly deal that can be canceled at absolutely any time. I'll let you know when, how, and specifically I'm pricing corn, soybeans, and wheat. It's all broken down by crop year, by percentage. It's tracked every day of the week. I talk a lot about a lot of things that relate to grain marketing. You know, things like when and how to capture carry, different strategies regarding options. If you're looking to brush up on your grain marketing, you're looking for maybe a different take or some different ideas, certainly check that out. I'd love to hear from you. If you have questions, you can email me. info@standardgrain.com is my email address. Wanted to do a quick run through of a couple charts regarding this China corn situation. China's been an aggressive buyer of U.S. corn this year, and just these last couple of days, we've seen some big purchases Tuesday and Wednesday this week. I'm going to put the first chart on my screen here. And the first chart I'm going to show you is a chart of this year's U.S. corn export sales to China versus the last 15 years. And it's really phenomenal when you look at the difference. So it's obvious here. I've got it pointed out. This year we've sold so far 18.7 million metric tons of corn to China. Prior to that, I mean, I don't know if we ever sold more than like 5 million metric tons or 6 million metric tons in this period since 2005. So we've just blown the lid off of any previous number that we've seen over the last 15 years. This is really impressive stuff. China had drawn down their corn stocks. U.S. corn had been cheap up until recently. You know, last summer and even into the fall, it was still pretty cheap. And now we've seen a substantial rally in prices. But China continues to buy corn even at these current prices. Again, we saw two large sales just these last couple of days. So this chart alone in itself is very, very impressive that we've sold so much corn to China for this 2021 marketing year. Really pretty impressive stuff. Now, to give you a couple different views here, this is total export sales for corn, and USDA is projecting that we'll sell 66 million metric tons this year. We've already sold 59 and a half, and that's not including this week's sales. So I have no reason to believe at this point that we don't hit the USDA target. In fact, there are a lot of people out there who believe that USDA is too low and that they need to come up with this target. And that's something that you could see in future USDA reports, especially if the pace of sales and the pace of shipments is strong as we move toward future reports. Now, speaking of shipments, I guess if there is one area of concern, it's in shipments. We've only shipped about half of what we've sold so far. We've sold pretty close to, or we've shipped rather, pretty close to 30 million metric tons. And we've sold, closer to 60. So we've shipped about half of what's been sold so far, and the shipments have been good. We saw, I think it was the second largest weekly shipment number or inspections number last week on record. So we're shipping a lot of corn. It's happening. It's just that we've got a record balance of unshipped corn at this point because the sales are so good. So can we hit the target in terms of shipments? Yeah, I think we probably can, but you're going to need to see a real aggressive program here. The other risk that you have with these export sales is that there have been times in the past, and if you don't follow this stuff as closely as some of us do, there have been times in the past where a country like China might buy corn or soybeans and then find out down the road that they can get it cheaper somewhere else, and they may actually cancel sales. And we've seen that happen in the past. There's precedent for cancellations. I think it was either 2013 or 2014 that we saw China cancel a bunch of U.S. corn purchases. So that's always a risk. it's always a risk when you've got a big balance of unshipped sales that Brazil has a big crop, and say June, July, they decide that they're going to move some of this stuff. But for the moment, I think that China got a lot of this corn bought cheap, cheaper than current levels, probably the majority of it. And I don't have any reason to think that, but it is a risk moving forward always when you've got a big balance of unshipped sales. I hope this was a useful short review. Long story short, China has been an aggressive buyer of U.S. corn over these last several months. They continue to be an aggressive buyer of U.S. corn despite higher prices. It's really pretty impressive stuff. If you guys have questions or comments, shoot me an email, info@standardgrain.com. You can drop a comment in the YouTube video. I will respond to anything that I see. Everybody have a great day. We'll talk to you a little bit later.